Hey, what's up guys? In this video we're going to take a look at the Glock 43 to see if it's still a good option nowadays in 2022. I've had mine for about 3 years now and it has seen a lot of use. I've fired thousands of rounds through this pistol and most of it has been 9mm NATO and M1152, so it has seen a very steady diet of very hot ammunition and it's handled it well. It's a great shooting pistol, even though it is a little bit small. It still does have some characteristics of larger pistols. On mine, I do have the Trijicon HD XR night sights, which are nice because you have a high visibility front sight. You have a serrated rear with a U-notch, but you still do have two very small Tritium ampules in the rear. And of course, one up front, and you have that bright orange ring. So it does more or less function like a high-vis front and a blacked out rear during the daytime, and at night, obviously, you do have the Tritium. I installed the Apex trigger shoe on my 43 trigger bar. I did pair it with the Ghost Edge connector. I also did some trigger work, some stoning, some polishing, stuff like that. And it has resulted in a very nice trigger actually. It does break about 4 pounds. You have a smooth pre-travel, firm wall, softer break. Reset's not bad either. It's perfect for a defensive gun. I do have +2 mag extensions on all of my magazines. Obviously that will add 2 rounds to the capacity, bringing you up to a +1. But it will give you the ability to get a full purchase on the pistol. That is important when you're drawing from inside the waistband, at least for me. And honestly, the +2 baseplate doesn't really affect the concealability with this gun, since the frame is so thin to begin with. I also have the Streamlight TLR6 on here. You're pretty limited for options when it comes to the 43 because there isn't an accessory row, but the Streamlight TLR6 is one of the better options out there. This is a light and laser combo. Not really a fan of lasers on handguns, but I got it on sale. It's the same profile as just the light TLR6. For holsters, the first one I had was this tulster. It's a very good holster. It has a very nice lockup and it's a very good quality holster. I also have this Fierce Defender, which will accommodate your Streamlight, which is nice. I also have the Tulster Magazine Caddy, and I really like these things because you can adjust the retention in 2 places. These are very good. I really like these. Other than that, you do have a lot of aftermarket parts availability. It does share a lot of common parts with the 43X and the 48 trigger-wise. The trigger shoe on here is the same size trigger shoe that's on a Gen 3 or Gen 4 Glock. So if you're looking for a particular trigger and you can't find one with the 43 trigger bar, just buy a Gen 3 trigger shoe and put it on your trigger bar and it'll work out fine. There's also plenty of connectors out there. I do have a few from Ghost, which are good connectors. There's one that can limit some of your over travel. There's also a decent one out there from Apex. Some of the original 43s, the older ones, initially had the Glock 42 connector on them, so some of them were a little bit heavier, but the newer ones have the slim line minus connector, which you can obviously get separately, and I really like this slim line minus connector. It's a decent connector. It's a very fast and crisp break, and I do like that. There's plenty of other parts out there, magazine extensions, sights, things like that, holsters from various companies. So if you're looking for aftermarket parts, that's something that's important to you. You will be covered with the Glock 43. Obviously today we live in a world of micro compacts, and a lot of people judge a pistol solely on its capacity versus its size, which is alright, but micro compacts are definitely not fighting pistols. I'm not trying to argue that the 43 is a fighting pistol either. These are strictly defensive pistols for up close and personal fights. But there are still some things that the 43 is really good at. Without an extension, if you carry with a flush base plate, you can easily pocket carry this even with the light. With the appropriate holster, this will fit in your pocket without an issue. It's also very light, so you can carry this without even needing a belt, which is nice if you're needing a pistol so you can go on jogs with, or go to the gym with, or other things like that. It's also a very good backup pistol. And of course, Shield Arms does have their 9-round magazine, and it is actually a little bit smaller than this magazine, so it doesn't even stick out that much. And I know they do have a +1 base plate, which would make it about this size, giving you 10+1, which is nice. You can also just use that for a backup mag and carry one with a flush base plate. You also have to remember that the 43 frame is slimmer than the 43X2. And personally, comparing this to a regular small 365, I like the Glock 43 better. This thing is built like a tank. Basically all the ammunition I fired it has been 9mm NATO, which is a +P round, and a lot of M1152, which is getting you in that +P+ territory. It is a 115 grain round, and it is going at about 1320 feet per second out of a 4-inch barrel. I've also fired Underwood Extreme Defenders out of here, so it's handled all that very hot ammunition without an issue. And you gotta remember, at the end of the day, it's still a Glock pistol, and it's still a very reliable and very good defensive pistol. So personally, I think it's still a good option in 2022. I really don't carry pistols this small, but it is still a good option to have in case you need something like this. If you happen to have any questions, comments, leave them down below. That'll be it. Thanks, guys.